The executive summary describes a preliminary overview of the marketing and advertising practices that certain companies in Malaysia use in unethical aspects. The purpose of this study is to broaden awareness and make ethical business practices in various sectors a habit. Negative or unethical marketing and advertising practices involve deception, manipulation, and exploitation by companies to promote products and services. There are companies that exist making exaggerated or false claims about their sales products, services that offer benefits that are given to consumers in order to mislead consumers. The consequences of unethical marketing and advertising practices are harming consumers. Manipulative tactics and misleading information can cause emotional distress to consumers when the product is ineffective or does not have the same effect as offered in the advertisement. In addition, the effect of erosion of trust. The public began to distrust the company because its reputation was tarnished. To deal with this, it is necessary that the responsible party, such as the customer service department in the company, should provide privacy protection. The company must be transparent and honest about the business it conducts. This issue's summary brings to the fore the concerns that deserve attention regarding unethical marketing and advertising practices of companies, and this section also explains the need to address these rather than protract it. The main point of emphasis is consumer fraud. For example, the company gives false claims or the benefits of the product are exaggerated so as to cause confusion among customers. Then, other than that, the manipulative strategy carried out by the marketing department in the company. Unethical marketing uses manipulative techniques of consumer emotions and vulnerability. Furthermore, another issue is that unfair competition exists among the companies involved. This practice includes spreading false news, defamation, untrue information about the company's competitors.
The first unethical marketing and advertising practices is false or misleading claims. False or misleading claims in marketing and advertising refer to the deceptive or dishonest practices used by companies to promote their products or services. For instance, in 2018, Vida Beauty made exaggerated claims about the effectiveness of the product called Ku Putih, stating that it could provide instant and permanent skin whitening results. Ministry of Health in Malaysia conducted investigations and found that Vida Beauty's claims were false and misleading. The company was ordered to remove all advertisements containing such claims and was fined 150,000 for violating the control of drugs and cosmetic regulations. Secondly, inappropriate targeting of children. Inappropriate targeting of children in marketing and advertising refers to the practice of designing advertisements and promotional strategies specifically aimed at children. For instance, in 2012, McDonald's Malaysia received backlash for the Happy Meal promotions and advertising tactic aimed at children. The company was accused of using marketing strategies that exploited children's vulnerability and influenced their food choices. McDonald's Malaysia used appealing toys, colourful packagings, and popular children's character to convince children into consuming their fast food product. Thirdly, price manipulation and deceptive promotion. Price manipulation and deceptive promotions in marketing and advertising practices involve tactics used by companies to create a false sense of value, deceive consumers, or manipulate prices to their advantage. For instance, in 2020, Shopee received complaints regarding deceptive pricing and misleading promotions. Customers reported instances where sellers on the platform manipulated product prices and created false discounts to attract buyers. The discounted prices were not genuine reduction but misleading tactics to create a sense of urgency and convince customers into making purchases. Next, the use of misleading images. The use of misleading images in marketing and advertising practices involves the manipulation or misrepresentation of visual content to deceive consumers or create a false impression about a product or service. For instance, in 2018, MW Berhad was fined RM10,000 by the Malaysian Competition Commission (MyCC) for using misleading images in their advertising. The company had used images of models who had been photoshopped to look significantly younger than they were. The model's skin had been smoothed, her wrinkle had been removed, and her hair had been darkened to look younger and flawless. Last but not least, fail to reveal the side effect of a product. Failing to reveal the side effects of a product in marketing and advertising practices refers to the omission or downplaying of potential adverse effects or risks associated with the use of a product. For instance, in 2020, Bayer Malaysia was fined RM20,000 by the Malaysian Competition Commission (MyCC) for failing to reveal the side effect of its Yas contraceptive pill. The company had not included a warning on its packaging that the pill could increase the risk of blood clots.
Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nawakila Shada binti Makzaudi, metric number 280573. I will continue to present on how did the unethical company marketing and advertising practices happen. There are 5 factors that contribute to this issue happen. The first one is ambiguity and vagueness that has been used in advertising. In advertising, a vague or unclear statement usually means that what companies say about their company or solution is easily applied to competing brands. For examples, by VWT, which they stated that their product called Kuputih can quickly whiten the skin, which the effectiveness has not proven yet. VWT has used language that is purposely unclear or vague so that it can be interpreted in different ways or to suggest false claims without saying them directly. Thus, the ambiguity and vagueness that has been used in advertising will lead to the false or misleading claims on the brands itself. Next, digital advertising and online platforms also led to the unethical practices in advertising. There are various types of digital advertising, which are Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, and many more. The widespread use of digital advertising and the extensive utilization of online platforms and social media have led to an increase in the targeting of children, as the advertisers can gather data on children's online behavior, preferences, and interests, enabling them to deliver personalized and targeted advertisements. From a utilitarian point of view, using digital advertising tools to target children can be bad if it leads to harm or abuse. Therefore, the inappropriate targeting of children happen due to the use of digital advertising and online platforms. Then, limited time offers and urgency that created by company also has contributed to price manipulation and deceptive promotions. The implementation of urgency tactics such as the utilization of countdown timers or messaging that conveys a limited time frame may create a sense of urgency and encourage customers to make immediate choices. This phenomenon may result in customers disregarding crucial aspects such as conducting price comparisons, reading reviews, or contemplating substitute options. The exploitation of limited time offers and urgency for price manipulation and deceptive marketing is frequently regarded as ethically problematic from a deontological stance. After that, lack of regulation and enforcement under advertising laws has led this unethical issue to occur. Every advertisement that is promoted and displayed to the public must comply with the ethical standards outlined in the Code of Advertising Practice in Malaysia. Inadequate regulation and ineffective enforcement of advertising laws and consumer protection regulations may contribute to all of these unethical company marketing and advertising practices, as the company know that they will not going to be penalized when they are being unethical. For instances, companies may disclose incorrect or partial information about their products or services in the absence of effective regulation and enforcement. Overall, a lack of regulation and enforcement generates an environment in where companies encounter fewer limitations and incentives to engage in ethical marketing and advertising practices. Lastly, lack of transparency in advertising and marketing practices. The implementation of transparent marketing strategies can foster a sense of trust between a business and its customers. For example, individuals have the right to make informed decisions about their health and well-being in medical or consumer contexts. Failure to disclose a product's side effects may undermine the principle of informed consent. Customers' rights to make health and well-being decisions based on accurate information can be violated if negative effects are not disclosed. In summary, the lack of transparency regarding the product's information led to the company failing to reveal the side effects of the product. And I think that's all from me. Thank you. I'll pass to the next presenter.
My name is Fatima. Next, I will present about why this issue happened. First, false or misleading claims in advertising are unethical and can stem from the desire to attract customers against a competitive advantage or increasing sales. For example, Full Putih made a stringent promise about their product, Full Putih Barulah Putih, without scientific evidence or rigorous testing, which is false and misleading. Virtue values virtue like honesty, integrity, fairness in advertising, and spreading false information goes against these virtues. Engaging in deceptive advertising practice contradicts the cultivation of virtuous character traits. From a moral and duty principle perspective, sharing false information in advertising violates the duty of honesty and truthfulness. Advertisers have a moral obligation to provide accurate and reliable information to enable informed consumer decision. Deliberately, false information undermines this duty and erodes trust between business and consumer. Last and but not least, false or misleading claims in advertising can harm consumer financially, lead to disappointment, and result in a loss and trust. Next, inappropriate targeting of children in advertising exploit their vulnerability and manipulate them into making purchases or influencing their parent decision. Targeting children is unethical ways violate the duty to protect vulnerable individuals and distribute their limited understanding and susceptibility to manipulation. Practice like using toys, entertainment, or tie-ins with popular children's media to promote sales are considered manipulative. For example, McDonald's has been criticized for using children's desires for toys and characters to promote fast food sales, potentially leading to unhealthy eating habits. Exploiting children's vulnerabilities for commercial gain violates ethical duties and can result harm or unfair treatment. Inappropriate targeting children contradict virtues such as protecting the innocent and well-being of children. Conscientialist ethical theories like utilitarianism highlight the negative consequences of inappropriate targeting, including harm to children's well-being and trust, which outweighs any short-term benefit for advertisers. Besides that, price strategy in business can be deceptive and misleading, raising ethical concerns. Misleading practice strategies are driven by desire to maximize profit, leading to practices like price discrimination, gouging, collusion, and psychology. Some Shopee vendors engage in unethical practice by modifying price to create the impression of discount and persuade buyers. Lack of transparency and information asymmetry between buyers and sellers contribute to misleading price strategies, especially with hidden fees. But ethical theories help us understand the reason behind this practice and advocate for fairness, transparency, and mutual benefit. Ethical pricing strategies go beyond legal compliance and prioritize fairness and transparency. So, customers should have complete information about their product or service they are purchasing in ethical pricing strategies. Next is, company may use deceptive imagery in marketing material to maximize profit. Misleading visual create a false perception of a product feeds, advantage or quality, influencing consumer purchasing decisions. Lack of ethical awareness of accountability within a company to contribute to the use of deceptive visual. A culture prioritizing sales and marketing performance over ethical behavior leads to compromising the integrity of marketing material. For example, Amway Malaysia faced ethical scrutiny for employing misleading image in their advertising, which is manipulating a model appearance using a Photoshop. This is unethical ways because this visual can result in negative consequences for buyers, leading to dissatisfaction, rising of trust and loyalty. The use of deceptive imagery can have a long-term negative consequence for stakeholders and society as a whole. Lastly, why failing to disclose side effects happen? Because profit-driven business may prioritize financial gains over ethical consideration. For example, Bayer Malaysia, a pharmaceutical company, failed to include a warning about the increased risk of blood clots associated with its contraceptive tablets. Withholding or downplaying product adverse effect is a strategy used to attract more customers and improve sales, disregarding potential harm to customers. Because of the lack of transparency in operation can lead to companies failing to disclose negative product effect driven by concern about reputation or customer confidence. This approach prioritizes maintaining a positive image over customer welfare, breaching obligation of honesty and transparency. Ethically, companies have an obligation to provide comprehensive and accurate information to enable customer or consumer to make informed decisions. From utilitarian perspective, failing to disclose side effect is unethical as it prioritizes short-term sales enjoyment over potential harm and diminish well-being for customers. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shafika Putri. I will continue the presentation for the recommendation. For the main method that company must take note is to provide transparent and accurate information about your item, including descriptions, specifications, and picture. Avoid making false or excessive claims about the characteristics, advantages, or effectiveness of your item. A study from KPMG can be demonstrated which they observe the consumer perceptions of the importance of accurate product information and meaningful product description for an online business were revealed via research on the online purchasing. The survey highlights how crucial it is for online retailers to give customers the accurate total cost of their purchase, considering that this is a crucial component of a complete product description. Other than that, the price of products also play roles on determining the strategy on e-commerce. Producers and merchants use moral pricing practices to maximize revenue without taking advantage of clients or the public. However, consumer perception of fair pricing are influenced by other factors such as convenience, availability, and competition costs. For its selling products, the corporation must set fair and competitive rate. To protect the client, refrain from price gouging, misleading pricing strategies, or artificially inflated costs. For example, monopoly gouging is the practice of a seller raising price on goods and services when it is neither reasonable nor competitive to do so. Last but not least, reviews from customers can also be an element in advertising the products. We as consumers always look over the reviews before purchasing the products because we depend on the rating for the detail about the product. However, untrue reviews which convey a false impression of the quality of an item restrict the value of feedback found on the internet. Despite this situation, customer evaluation that are authentic and objective will be encouraged. In order to artificially enhance the reputation of the product, the company must refrain from writing fast reviews or manipulating rating. These days, many companies will use influencers to advertise their products since they have many audience, especially on their social media. Regardless of these methods, the influencer are tempted to employ authors who specialize in creating fast reviews or use automated techniques to do so in order to increase the allure of their goods and service or damage the reputation of rival. That's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, deceptive marketing practice such as false or misleading claims, inappropriate targeting of children, price manipulation, the use of misleading image, and failing to disclose side effects have been observed in various companies in Malaysia, including Vida Beauty, McDonald's, Shopee, Amway Malaysia, and Bayer Malaysia. This practice undermines consumer trust, mislead consumer, and can have negative impact on consumer choice and experience. Unethical marketing practice such as ambiguity or vagueness, inappropriate targeting of children, limited time offer, lack of regulation and enforcement, and lack of transparency contribute to false or misleading claims in advertisement. This practice undermines trust, manipulate consumer behavior, and fail to provide accurate information, highlighting the need for ethical standards and effective regulation in marketing. The ethical lessons learned from this issue include the importance of honesty, transparency, fairness, and the protection of vulnerable individuals. Companies should avoid targeting vulnerable audiences such as children with manipulative tactics that promote unhealthy behavior. The other lesson that we can learn from this issue is importance of clear and honest communication in advertising, especially avoiding ambiguity and vagueness that can lead to false or misleading claims. That's all. Thank you.